You're listening to the Big Ideas Podcast with Ashlee Ilg. Tune in for honest conversations as we pursue bold dreams, redefine what is possible, and empower the next generation to live big. You'll hear stories that prove over and over again that just because something wasn't a part of our plan doesn't mean it won't be used for our good. Whether you're already an entrepreneur, you dream of becoming one, or you're raising the next generation of entrepreneurs, this podcast is for you. There's no time to waste on your big ideas. So let's get started. Here's your host, Ashlee Ilg.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Big Ideas Podcast. As we are closing in on this finale for this season, we have so much to celebrate, and this episode is going to just be all about reflecting on what we've done, just celebrating how far we've come, everything we've done, and what's next. So, especially as new entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs, it can be really tempting to think that all of your success is based on the dollar bill that has happened between, when you started to today. And there's so much more to celebrate beyond just the dollar earned, right? And so taking a moment to celebrate, I don't think we do that enough. And I am probably the number one person that needs to tell that to myself, but pausing to celebrate, really thinking and reflecting on what we've done, how far we've come is so valuable. And momentum is a really powerful thing. And so if you're the parent or coach or mentor listening to this and you're helping your student and your young entrepreneur really get their business going and keep it going, capitalizing on the momentum that they've experienced through all of this, whether they're going through the playbook or going through the podcast series alone, there's so much value in the momentum that they're creating as we go. But just as a quick, what exactly have we done? I feel like we've done a lot, but remind me, what have we done? Number one, we've identified a business idea. That's huge just in itself, right? And that business idea solved a real problem. We created a one-page business plan. We named our business. We developed a whole brand style, gave our brand a whole voice to it. We figured out how to price our product and our service. We tracked our costs and our profit. We learned what an MVP is, and then we tested it. We made our first sale. We marketed our idea. We got out of our comfort zone to do that, and we realized that failure wasn't fatal, and we tried it again and again, and we figured out what worked better, right? We asked for feedback. We made improvements all along the way. We set and hit goals, right? I'm sure we hit some goals along the way. We built a system of repeatable, ongoing business, whether it's us or somebody else that's helping us. We are showing up with excellence. Overall, we just owned our role as a young CEO. We really showed up to do this well. And I'm so proud of us. I'm so excited to be sitting on the other side of this screen with y'all and watching as we are, just starting from scratch and just building something that really matters, that can really make a big difference and can just really be a real launching pad for your future, right? And all of these experiences are not just one and done just because for this business alone, right? These experiences will be multiplied for so many future life lessons and life experiences. So, grab your notebook. If you have the CEO playbook in front of you, this is a perfect chance to really take some time, like I said in, I think, episode 1 of this season, push pause on me and really take some time to reflect and think about what were some of your favorite moments. This whole experience of coming up with your business, was it, designing your brand? Was it figuring out the profits and getting nitty gritty on your expenses and your cost per item and all of that? Was it coming up with your marketing plan and figuring out the best way to share your product? Was it getting really serious about what your customer service experience would be like and really thinking about what you wanted your customer to experience as they bought from you? What were some of your favorite moments, and that might include what surprised you. Maybe you didn't realize that you were going to love the graphic design side of designing your logo as much as you did, or that telling your story was really going to be so impactful as you did start to sell your product and tell it to the world. What's one huge challenge you had to overcome, and how did that make you stronger? I'm kind of like just, saying all of these ideas, but definitely, I mean, pause, think about these things, write them down. There's so much power in what we write down. And I promise you're going to love to go back and reflect on these, a couple of years from now as you're, growing your business. Maybe you've started several businesses at this point. You're going to want to go back and see where it all started, things that you overcame in day one, week one, year one, and how it's progressed. It's just such a valuable tool to reflect, record, and have it to go back to later. Hey friend, quick pause before we keep going. As you know, this season of the Big Ideas podcast is all about building ideas, confidence, leadership, and real-world skills our kids can actually use. And if you've been listening thinking, wow, I wish I had something like this when I was growing up, I did too, which is why I created the Future CEO Playbook. It's a hands-on guide designed to help kids think like problem solvers, build and test ideas, understand money, communicate clearly, and take initiative with faith, purpose, and creativity at the center. You can order the spiral-bound workbook at ashleeilg.com or the paperback version on Amazon. Both are designed to be worked through interactively, so kids can write, plan, build, and reflect as they go. If this season has you inspired, the playbook helps you put it into action. All right, let's get back to the show. What are some of the most exciting things about your business that you can't wait to just keep growing? How has your business idea expanded? You thought it was going to be just this one thing, but then it just kind of kept growing, and it was so organic and so unexpected and just based on what people needed and what you could provide, that now you've got this whole lineup of products and services. And write that down. Like, how did that surprise you? How did that just continue to multiply and to grow over time? I also want you to take some time and think about, like, what's next for you. What's one goal that you want to pursue with your business? Maybe it's something financially that you can now afford because of profits from your business. Maybe it's some sort of an outreach experience where you want to bring more people in to help you grow your business or help them grow their business, maybe in partnership with you. How will others play a role in helping you grow it? Is there a more strategic coach or planning process that you want to use as you continue to grow? But don't overstep this. Like I said at the beginning, celebrating your wins, figuring out what worked. Some of those biggest surprises, biggest challenges are so fun. Even your biggest lessons learned, like, record the hard stuff too. Record why it was hard, what it did to you, what it made you question. Like, did it make you wonder, like, why did I start this in the first place? Like, what the heck am I doing? Why did I think I should be doing this? Write those things down. Be honest with yourself. Be transparent. I mean, this notebook is for you. It's the ability to just really put down the experiences that you've had, the good, the bad, the ugly, the hard, and just be honest and talk about how you've become stronger in the process and what you've learned from all of this. What do you think will help you most in your future? What are some of these experiences that will translate into, like, real world, real life, because overcoming challenges isn't just about business. It's, in all areas of your life, relationally, professionally, academically. There's so many key lessons learned as we grow a business and we overcome a lot of just ourselves to provide something for others that it's so valuable. And it's fun to go and kind of reflect, yes, but also sort of look forward and to see, I can see this serving me in my future in this way too, and write it down. I know some people like writing more than others. I'm definitely a writer. I have a few kids that love to write. I have a few that don't, but I just can't encourage you enough to take a moment, write down some of these that we're going through. And then maybe the biggest one, maybe one that you wouldn't think of, is write a letter to your future self. A lot of what we've said kind of leans toward that, but literally write, dear your name, and write down all the things that you believe about yourself now after going through this process, after going through hard things and learning some life lessons, maybe getting some bumps and bruises along the way, maybe having some huge wins that you were not even expecting, just having that expanded vision for what's next. Write a letter to yourself, almost like a time capsule type of a scenario where, wrap it up, put it in a box, tuck it away, and plan to open it again in 5 or 10 years from now. Like, give it a good time frame before you go back and you read it again, because I promise you will find so much value in going back and seeing where you were, what you've learned, and then assessing where you're at in that present day, and just going back to that. And as the writer and the author behind the Future CEO Playbook, that's one of my favorite things, is to just picture these amazing, ambitious entrepreneurs going through the work, putting the work in, getting the results of starting their own business, and then learning all the things along the way. And then years from now, going back and realizing like, oh my gosh, there was so much inside me that this business plan helped bring out of me, that it personally brings me so much joy to think about y'all opening these, letters to yourselves years later and realizing where it all started. And so please, take a moment to just write down your wins, write down your lessons, and make a plan and capitalize on this momentum that you've experienced as you've been growing your business for how you're going to keep growing it and what you'd like it to look like. Setting goals is so important. Casting that vision and knowing what you're shooting for, setting some rewards in place that you will be rewarded, when that discipline and that hard work pays off, and make it real. Write it down. It makes it so tangible. And I've been so excited to go along this journey with y'all. If you do have the Future CEO Playbook, that final pages you'll see as a certificate. So have a parent or a coach or mentor sign that, frame it, make it a huge deal, go out for, dinner or ice cream or something to celebrate just the work that you've put in to get this far. And it's only the beginning, My husband's background is aerospace engineering. And so one of my favorite sayings is, that everybody loves to say that the sky is the limit, but for a rocket scientist, the sky is only the beginning. And so just a glimpse of our mindset for what you can achieve, or we can all achieve when we're using our gifts and our talents to bring joy and good and quality, excellent services and products to other people. There's no end in sight for where that ends. It only goes bigger. And I can't wait to hear how this podcast series, how the playbook has served you in helping you to pull those great gifts and talents out of you, turn them into real businesses from the start of just one big idea all the way through. I cannot wait to hear all of your results, all of your success, all the joys and tribulations along the way. So thank you all so much for being here, and stay tuned for one more episode with my friend Chelsea Thompson. She's a dear friend, another entrepreneur who's raising and teaching entrepreneurs in the next episode. But with that, always keep your big ideas coming, and we'll see you on the next one. Hey friends, thanks so much for tuning in today. Before you go, it would mean the world to me and my family if you would share this episode with at least one person who you think might benefit from this message. And of course, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. You can also follow me at Ashlee Ilg on Instagram to keep up with our adventures and for continued encouragement as you pursue your big ideas. Thanks again for joining us. Until next time.